Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Panathiniakos 1, Chelsea 4. We get the job done in emphatic style. This is a really good European performance, a really good European victory. Chelsea kept it professional. We did exactly what I said we were going to do in my match preview, by the way. I told you Mudryk was scoring, Nkunku and Joao Felix, and they absolutely all did. Chelsea today were very good. I like what we're seeing in the early phases of this Maresca A-team setup, B-team setup. Rotation is happening, and I think today it might not be players knocking on the door to get themselves starting spots in the Premier League. At least in Mudryk's case, at least now, he's knocking on the door to get in the Premier League squad. He was absolutely exceptional today. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the George Benson football channel and smack a like on this video today. And also, before we actually talk about the football and go through the boxes here on 6 things we learned, can I just say, this kit is absolutely gorgeous, and the jacket that Enzo Maresca was wearing is up there with one of my favourites that I've seen for quite some time. So if you want to get yourselves that kit, or anything from the Megastore for that matter, use the QR code that's on the screen here and the discount code at checkout GBFC10 on the official Chelsea Megastore. So let's take a little look at the lineup that we saw today. Jorgensen is in goal. And then it was kind of lined up like a 4-3-3 on the graphic for what I was watching on video, which is an Indonesian streaming platform. But it was more like a 3-3-4. You got Philip Jorgensen in goal with Disasi, Badiashile and Vega making up a back three, with Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Enzo Fernandez, Marc Cucurella as a midfield three, Pedro Neto on the right, Felix and Nkunku, and then Mudryk playing on the left. It was almost as though Joao Felix kind of had the free roam tonight, with Nkunku playing on that right side half space, Cucurella stepping up on the left side half space, with both Neto and Mudryk holding the widths for Chelsea out wide. We started the game, and obviously you expect when you go to Greece, you go to Athens, Panathiniakos, they're going to be up for it. There was obviously, before the game, the minute silence for George Bulldog. There was also obviously added impetus in this game for Panathinaikos today, because it is the first game in the Conference League since the sad passing of George Bulldog. So we knew there was going to be a lot to ride in the early phases of this game. But I think as the match wears on, there's an inferiority complex from Panathinaikos. They know that Chelsea are the best team they're going to come up against in this Conference League, the best team they're going to come up against in their group. But they just stopped going for it. As soon as Chelsea score the first goal, it's as if Panathinaikos are like, well, we ain't going to do anything here. Chelsea were then superior for the entirety of the game. Philip Jorgensen didn't have too much to do, but in the second minute, he makes a massive save. And if this goes in, the whole nature of the game could have changed massively. The Panathinaikos fans that were very loud before kickoff would have absolutely stayed at that decibel level, but Jorgensen made a really good save. We move into early phases of play. Joao Felix getting on the ball. You can see he's making these like little clip passes out to Neto. He's drifting in, linking up nicely with Mudryk. Chelsea were just overall massively in control of this game from the very, very start. We start off with the first goal. Joao Felix with that goal. It is a brilliant, brilliant ball from Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, getting the ball forward. Felix flicks it on to Mudryk, who is very composed, takes his time, cuts the ball back across again, and Joao Felix makes it 1-0 to Chelsea. Moving then, we were very, very close to scoring the second almost immediately, with Enzo Fernandez firing a shot from the edge of the area. Really good save from the Panathinaikos goalkeeper, but it doesn't go in the back of the net. Chelsea in the first half had control of the match. It's one of those where you're looking at it and you're thinking, surely there's going to be like a new wave of pressure from the home side. Surely Panathinaikos are going to give a little bit more. But it just didn't come. Half-time comes and Chelsea were very much in cruise control. We didn't have to even go anywhere close to second gear in that first half. After scoring that first goal, it just completely deflated the home side, which, You're not going to get that if you're playing Europa League. You're certainly not going to get that in the Champions League. But it's exactly what I mean when I say that right now, these Chelsea players playing in the Conference League and obviously being the best side going into every single game, it's not only a challenge of how professional and mature we're going to be game by game against sides that we absolutely should be beating. It's kind of like the Carabao Cup. If you play Barrow all the way to the final, you're probably going to win the whole thing. It's not quite Barrow, but Panathiniakos just offered absolutely nothing. The second half begins, and we get a goal for Mudryk, who, before this, he'd already got himself 4 assists in 6 starts this season, or in 6 appearances this season. To get that goal is a massive relief. It's 2-0 to Chelsea, the start of the second half, and you can see what it means to Mudryk. And I think this is absolutely credit to Enzo Maresca for the way that even players that aren't getting picked for the squads in the Premier League at the weekend, they come in 2 or 3 days later, they score a goal straight over to the manager. Maresca's delighted for him. It's a great goal from Mudryk. Neto with the cross, Mudryk with the header. And then the third one. It's literally like, 120 seconds later? Mudryk plays the ball to Joao Felix on the edge of the area. Shot's deflected. It's on target. It's a goal. Another assist for Mudryk. And another goal for Joao Felix. Then we get ourselves a penalty. We're literally balling out here in the first 20 minutes of the second half. Joao Felix outside of the boot pass. Hits the hand of the Panathinaikos player. Unnatural position. Christopher Nkunku. What is it about flipping laser pens? Like, you're losing 3-0. You've already conceded the L. It's not going well for you. What are you doing with a flipping laser pen? Trying to put off Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku scores, puts it in the bottom corner. That's his 8th goal this season already. 60 minutes into the game, we see Mark Guiu come on. Tyreek George coming on as well. This is great stuff. Chelsea able to bring on some of the youngsters. Not everybody, but we're able to make some changes. Panathinaikos then get themselves a goal back. I think the whole game, we were kind of just waiting to see something from them. See a good little breakaway, good cutback. It's a tap in at the far post, 4-1. Cassidy comes on, and it's pretty much game over for Chelsea. It was a really good professional performance, and we begin. Box number 1 here today is a blue box. Yes, a blue box. That is the best box you can get in this series. Man of the match performance, standout player. I'm giving it to Mudryk. Felix scored 2 goals, but I think Mudryk today, it's exactly what I said to you guys in the preview. I said that Mudryk was going to ball out today. Why? Because what Maresca has done is take the pressure off him. Mudryk is going out there right now. He knows that Sancho's ahead of him. He knows that Neto's ahead of him. Madueke's ahead of him. There are players right now that are miles ahead in the way that they're playing, the development of those players. But he was smart. He's not coming on there and trying to do everything himself, trying to score every opportunity. He's being intelligent. And I think what we're seeing is a player who, when he was starting every game and when fans are on his back, because look, Mudryk's not been good enough up until tonight. Today, he absolutely deserves his flowers. I thought he was brilliant. Gets himself 2 assists, scores a really good goal. Nice to see the header as well. And the relief when he goes over to Enzo Maresca. I was absolutely delighted for him, delighted to see it. Box number 2 is a green box for Joao Felix, who today absolutely balled out. And again, he could have had a hat-trick. He probably should have had a hat-trick. Has one that he blazes over in the second half after another good cross. But Joao Felix is that luxury player where sometimes you want more from him. And I said earlier on this season, I said he's that luxury player that just needs to be a bit more luxury, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's about the execution. It's about when you're trying to do all of these fancy flicks and little clip balls here, I want to see the running. I want to see the extra work. And he absolutely was putting that in. Sorry about my voice, guys. My throat is absolutely screwed as we go into this video today. Box number 3. I have given a green box here to Benoit Badiashile, who very quickly, when he came on against Liverpool, I'm like, that's the Badiashile that we saw when he first joined Chelsea. Today, I could have easily given a box to Disasi. I thought Disasi was really good. Benoit Badiashile, I think he's really stepping up now. There were moments here in the first half of this game today in Greece where Chelsea are not getting any pressure put on them whatsoever. We know what Maresca wants the players to do. They want them to be patient in possession. He wants them to draw the Panathinaikos players towards them so that we can play the passes between the lines, through the lines. And Benoit Badiashile was that guy. There's a moment where he literally makes a pass to Enzo Fernandez through the entire Panathinaikos team, and then Enzo Fernandez runs onto it, and I don't know what he's doing, but he flicks it out for a flipping throw-in when he could have easily passed it to Felix's feet. But Badiashile is stepping up, and I think, again, it's about the pressure being off of his shoulders. He knows right now that he's not going to be starting ahead of Levi Colwill in that left centre-back position. But once again today, it's a professional Chelsea performance, and Badiashile stepped up and puts in a really good shift. Box number 4, I've given a green to Enzo Fernandez. Look, sometimes you're looking at Enzo, you want a lot more. I've criticised him heavily, but again, I'll praise him today. I thought he was really good. I thought when he was out there on the field, Chelsea captain, he was getting himself involved, could have scored quite early on in the match as well, but for a good save from the Panathinaikos goalie. And he was kind of today playing a bit like a lone six, but at the same time, because Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who I thought also had a good game but misplaced a few passes, I was going to give him a box, but I ended up giving it to someone else, you'll see in a second. But Enzo, I thought, did really well. I think he was controlling things, he was getting forward, there was good balance to his game. And as much as there wasn't much pressure on him from the Panathinaikos players, I think Enzo Fernandez did really well. Going to have to preserve my voice here, guys. Box number 5 is a green for Renato Veiga. This guy, every time I see him out there on the field for Chelsea, he looks like a £40 million signing. Renato Veiga was absolutely class. I thought Marc Cucurella was also fantastic tonight for Chelsea. I want to talk about that a little bit, though, because with Veiga, I don't think he's anywhere near the starting 11 for the Premier League, just because of what we saw against Liverpool. I think performance-wise, he's knocking on the door, as we keep saying here on the channel. But Malo Gusto, does this mean that Malo Gusto starts at left-back against Newcastle? Because Marc Cucurella played the full 90 minutes tonight for Chelsea in the Conference League supposed B team. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. I don't really know how I feel about that. I think Cucurella has had a really good start to the season. He's been one of our best players. So he was suspended. Gusto came in at Liverpool. Does this mean that Malo Gusto is going to be starting ahead of him? Or is it simply Cucurella was suspended, he wanted to see some minutes out there for him, and it was about the balance of the midfield? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. Box number 6 is a green for Enzo Maresca because, look, Chelsea are bouncing back. Lose to Liverpool, smash Panathinaikos. That is exactly what we wanted. I said 4-0 in my match prediction. It was 4-1. But look, it's another great win for Chelsea in the Conference League. 8 goals scored in 2 group stage matches. And right now, with the way that Maresca is getting a tune out of players that aren't playing in the matches they really want to be, the big boy Premier League games, Mudryk tonight, best player. Joao Felix, 2 goals. These players aren't starting. Nkunku, not starting Premier League games, not even the first choice sub at times. But these guys are bagging in goals for Chelsea, going over to the manager to celebrate. We are building something special. And make sure you're subscribed here on GBFC for it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Come on, you Blues.